the only obstacle you have is yourself. Like during this class, I learned before this class, I didn't even know I could sing. I didn't even know I could act, to be honest. But during the class, I sort of slowly just went up to the point where I can act and I can sing better than I actually ever could last trimester, even before that. It's those mental boundaries and conditions that sort of just hold us back. And yeah, like I said, the only obstacle you have is yourself.
I liked the class because it helped me expand my comfort zone. I liked that Ike kicked my ass a lot, even though I got mad at him a lot. Be patient with myself and others. Never stop working on my self-confidence. And don't fight what you can't change.
I'm definitely not going to flip out in class anymore, because that just makes it even worse, because people get mad at you, and then if they're already pissed off, then they'll get mad at you and they'll yell at you, and then that just makes you even more mad, and so that just makes me walk away.
I don't know, sometimes I'll be nervous about something or frustrated with something, and then I'll be frustrated that I'm nervous or that I'm frustrated. And I experienced that a lot in this class. And it's a bummer, but then I'd try and ignore the fact that I was nervous or frustrated just because I was in that nervous and frustrated place. So I kind of bottled a lot up, even though because this class really triggered a lot for me. So and because I didn't really deal with that in the beginning of the class, I felt crazy as the trimester went on. And then I felt better later on after I felt crazy, because I dealt with other stuff, but it really showed me that because I was kind of in my brain, how things were working was I kind of wanted to go with things with this hard thing because I was frustrated with myself. And that wasn't really working. That was actually stifling acting and everything, because it wasn't actually pushing me in a productive way to act and sing. It was just making me feel worse about acting and singing. So I wasn't able to be like this and talk and be little Sally.
After going to see Next to Normal at the UNC, I learned a lot about what really goes into a play, and how much acting and being and singing like that really takes out of you. I learned a lot about how acting is reacting. It's mostly reacting. And I also learned about the amount of devotion that must go into your character in order for it to be positively reflected on other characters. I feel that now I have more of an understanding of what it means to be a character that's not yourself. And also how it feels to actually be presented in front of an audience that's never seen this kind of idea before. It was really fun for me.
One thing that was really hard that I've never really had to do, because classes weren't so hands-on and involved, was just leaving your shit at the door, which I really appreciated that, because sometimes there was days where a lot of people would bring in a lot of shit, but since there was that rule, we were all trying our hardest not to. And so even though there was a minimum of it, it's when everybody's working to benefit everyone in the group, which is there was 13, 14, 15 of us in a room at a time for the whole day for the first 5 weeks. I think that really benefited, was just leaving your shit at the door.
First couple of weeks I'd just be God, I'm just done with this class. I'd be I don't want to be here, this isn't for me, I'm not meant for a musical, I'm gonna drop out, or I'm gonna get in trouble just so I can not be in it. But then I don't know, just realize when I'd have those days where it was just so fun, I'd be what the heck was I talking about? This is perfect, this is a new experience, have fun with it. So I think another thing I learned was just to never give up and just keep trying and trying. Practice makes perfect, or at least practice makes better.
I guess I was really nervous before with this play thing. I'd never been in a play. I was never really I don't know, so excited to be in a play. But then once I had an audience in front of me, once I knew that I had my lines down, my cues, the notes, and within the songs, I was really confident. I felt I could deliver a good show. So I guess that boosted up my confidence within myself. That's a good major learning, confidence.
Singing. I don't sing, but now it's when I do tend to depending on the song, if I'm singing, whatever song it is, if it's my favorite song, I can hear the difference in my voice. Like before, it was just like, all right, you know, I'm singing. I felt like I thought I was. You would have thought I was Don King or something. Like I thought I was I was that person. I was the dude. But then when I got into the class and I really got into really singing, and when you get into the morning warm-ups, and then after that, when you start to begin to sing, that's when you feel like your voice just got an exercise. Just it worked out before it started to actually get being put to work. And that's one way I actually grew, which was singing.
During class, towards the beginning, I would loaf around and not give the class my full attention or give it all the effort that everyone else deserved. And by changing that, I started getting more positive feedback, and I started having more fun, and I started learning. I can sing, and I can hit pitches now. I've also learned more about how acting professionally works, how to act when the director tells you to do things, what the expectations are.
I think I learned to believe in myself a little bit more, to believe that I have talent and I can always improve that talent, to believe that I had it in the first place, and also to leave your shit at the door, because I tried to focus more on that the second 5 weeks more than the first 5 weeks. I really had to work on that, and I also stopped drinking coffee after the first 5 weeks, and I have ADHD, so that helped a lot because coffee would like boost me up really like hardcore at first, and then it just like wore me out and made me even more lethargic than I was to begin with. So I think that helped a lot with my energy level, and I just tried to be more animated. I learned to have more patience with myself, and I think that has and will continue to help me with having more patience with others.
The one that I can deduce how like my actions affect cast culture, performance, and audience reaction. That one came from like me being a diva, sort of, and just like strolling out of class or kicking something, or just like getting frustrated with myself, and it really threw off the cast vibe. And I also learned how like if I'm super positive into my character, everyone else feels like more comfortable to be a part of that character because they see someone else being so confident in that. Have fun and try to remain positive and don't make things harder than they are. Knowing like what looks good and what doesn't. Because I saw like a performance video and I know I was kind of like putting my hands here because like maybe like nervous or something, but like like really being able to be big with it. Like people like being fully dedicated to something. It's something I can definitely take away from it. Like not just going into it 80% or 90%, but just everything you got.
One of the things that I grew in is leaving my shit out the door. Now, in the very beginning, I wasn't really just like in the beginning. Sometimes I'd go into class and feel like just let some stuff like happening outside of class affect me. And leaving my shit out the door, I actually just like just sort of helped me get over that and like have me in the moment. That's the thing. Like I like during class, during class time, we're just like in the moment. We're doing what we're doing as a class, as a cast. And if I let anything that happens outside, any negative stuff that happens outside, sort of just affect me, then not only will my performance be, just crippled, everybody else's will be too.
I've learned to be patient and to handle situations that happen around me differently. Like whether it's a situation with myself or somebody else is, acting all stubborn and stuff. Like I know how, instead of like getting mad and like coming at them because they're acting in like an immature, stupid way, which I was doing the first couple weeks, like I kind of just like talk to them and be like, we could talk about it later, you could talk about it later, but could you just like focus or whatever. And so I kind of learned how to deal with issues with myself and others in the class, and to be patient because a lot of people just push your buttons.
Great. Anything else you'd like to add? Just about the class or anything?
I loved it. It was fun, and I liked Naomi, and I liked Emily, and I liked Ike, and it was just all around fun. Like, just Oh my god, I honestly thought this wasn't for me, but then when we like got on stage and started performing, I was just like having so much fun. Especially like the last, like that Saturday night, I think, before Sunday, like I just had so much fun with it. It was just, like afterwards, I got the butterflies after the show was done instead of before the show. And I was just kind of like, what's going on? But I guess it was just because it was so freaking awesome.